Okay, so the third form of a linear function that we are going to talk about is called standard form. Do you remember what standard form was? You're very close. It's ax plus by equals c. Yeah. So, there's good things and bad things about this form. The bad thing is you can't really look at it and get anything for free like you can with the other ones. A, B, and C, so here's the other thing. A, B, and C, what are they? So, A, B, and C. These are just numbers, okay? So A, B, and C are just numbers. We usually like to use this phrase, standard form with integral coefficients. What? Standard form with integral coefficients. What does that even mean? Anybody think they know?
No.
Go ahead.
It just means that the numbers are integers.
That's
A,
it.
B, and C, so they're not going to be fractions.
Perfect.
Nice.
A, B, and C, okay, when you are asked to give an equation in standard form with integral coefficients, it means that A, B, and C just have to be integers. No decimals, no fractions, okay? So that means A, B, C are integers. No decimals, no fractions. And then this is a little confusing because depending on your teacher or textbook, some places force you to have A be a positive number. I don't personally care either way, but it's not a bad habit to get into because you're going to see it when, if you go up and take MCAS or SATs or something, they're probably going to have A be positive anyway. So if it was a test and you had A as a negative number, I don't care. You're not wrong. But very often, like if it's multiple choice, they won't even give A as a negative number. So I just want you to be aware that oftentimes A is required to be a positive number. All right, so we're going to try and extract the same four things that we have from the other forms from standard form. Okay, so I still want to start off with the slope. Unfortunately, there's no m in this equation, so I don't get to just look at this and know what the slope is. But it is actually pretty easy to get it. So, in part A, to find the slope, all you have to do is take negative A and divide it by B. That's it. So let's do an example problem so we can work through this. So let's just say I chose number 29 from your paper. That says 5x minus 3y equals negative 15. So if I wanted to find the slope from this, I would just do negative a over b. So, looks like a is 5, b is negative 3, and c is negative 15. So, let's do negative a, so it would be negative 5, over b, which is negative 3. So my slope would just be positive 5/3. Does that make sense? Did I lose anybody? So it's not hard to find the slope, it's just you do have to do a little bit of math. Negative a over b. Okay, so I know my slope. Great. Now I had to find the X and Y-intercepts. I find them the same way, but with how standard form works, it's actually really easy to do it. So B, let's find the Y-intercept. How do you find the Y-intercept? Plug in 0 for X. Now watch this. Sometimes we call this the hand method, or the finger method, I guess. What's our thing that we're doing? 5x minus 3y equals negative 15. If I plug in 0 for x, won't this whole thing just go away? Right? If I plug in a 0, 5 times 0 is just 0, so it's just gone. So you can use the cover-up method and then just solve this equation. When you just divide both sides by a negative 3. So what do you get out for y? Ooh, careful. Positive 5, yeah. So by using the cover-up method, it just saves you a little bit of work. So my y-intercept is just 0, 5. So to find the x-intercept, I just put my finger over the y term. And now I have this equation, 5x equals negative 15. So what's the x-intercept going to be? Negative 3. So it doesn't always work out so nicely, but when it does, hooray. So let's see, that was, would you just tell me, negative 3? And there's my x-intercept. So I have my y-intercept and my x-intercept. So there's a little bit of work to do, but that was pretty easy. You just cover up whatever part you're going to plug the 0 into, and then just solve the remaining equation. Oh, yes. So to find another point on this line, but you already know how, just like you did with slope-intercept. You just pick any point you want, plug it in for x, and see what y is. So any other point. Plug in anything for x. So, I don't know, what do you want to plug in? 1?
Yeah.
Seems like a good idea to me. So if we plugged in 1 for x, and then just solve for y, that shouldn't be too bad. Oh, it's not going to come out nice, but who cares? I'm running out of room. Did you get 1 comma 20 over 3? All right, good.